Absolutely.
I know. Okay, it's preparing. Here we go. And then what do I have to do? I have to turn off Zoom or turn
Oh,
off.
turn off your browser, Chrome
Absolutely.
or
I
Google.
know. Okay, it's preparing. Here we go. And then what do I have to do? I have to turn off. There, I did it. So we are live, folks. Good morning, everyone. We are Art
Morning.
Matters New York. Hi, I'm Mark Saffin.
I'm Hans Vici.
Who else? Who are you?
I'm
Marie?
Barbara Lowenstein.
Marie Adler-Kervakis.
Wonderful.
And we are Art Matters New York, and we may be joined by other members of our community. And we're here to talk about art that we've viewed recently and our own work. So thank you for joining us. And shall we just
Yes.
get going? Just jump right in?
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
do that. Okay. Let's see if this.
Can we see that Dorothea Tanning again?
Yes. So
There
here
it
we
is.
are. So we can go through these at, whatever,
Yeah. I just
however we
wanted
want.
I wanted
Yeah.
to make a comment. I don't
Okay.
know what the time frame is, but it looks to me like Francis Bacon, that there's a similarity, and I'm wondering who
Okay.
came first. Probably
Well,
he did,
I think
right?
Bacon, I think they were contemporaneous. She lived a long time. This is
Yeah.
Dorothy Channing. And I
Mhm.
think this was from, oh boy, I'm not ready for this.
I know he died. Sorry about that. I know he died in 92.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But I see the point with Bacon. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an
So,
abstract Bacon.
um, this is I saw at the Paul Kasman Gallery in Chelsea, in New York. And these are late works.
Oh,
And let me see if I can.
I found her dates,
Okay. So
1910 to 2012.
okay, so she lived a very long time. So these were from,
Mm.
let me see. I'm actually looking at the Paul Kasman site. Wait, let me go back.
Mm.
Hmm. Uh,
Wow, I didn't realize she
anyway,
was
the
severe.
reason why I included this, I'm sorry that I don't have more information right now, but I included this because we had been um, interested in and talking about collage at
Yeah.
great length. And all of these late
Mm.
pieces, this was the only one that I photographed. Maybe I should have photographed a few more. I didn't realize we were going to be talking about this. But I
Mm.
wasn't interested in most of them. Most of them seemed pretty, they were very competent, but I wasn't that interested. This one I felt was more successful, and it still
Mhm.
had elements, as you can see. And she used a lot of collage. And,
Mhm.
Oh,
and so, in as much as we've been talking about it and we've been using
It's,
collage, thought it would be of interest.
the
yes.
hand is interesting. The
Yeah,
hand
I agree, Hans.
in there with that. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea that was a hand. I thought it was a body
Yeah, it
wrapped
could
up.
be. I mean, it could be both. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. It is a hand.
But I mean,
Mm.
I'm sorry that I didn't.
very.
Um,
It's fine. It's good to see this. I knew
I
her
know, but
name, but
I wish that I had.
A
I wish
title.
photographed more of them, but I didn't. But I'm sure if you go to the website and you're interested in this, you can see a lot more. And as I said before, the reason why I didn't include them, I didn't think that the images were that compelling. As I said, it was late work. And I don't know if she used how much collage she used in her earlier work. But these late pieces, I understood that there were, you know, employing collage at that point in her life was more efficient and easier in a way than
That's
committing to, you know, paintings, large paintings,
Yeah,
or just an
sure.
oil painting. It's just,
Yeah,
you know, collage is a little more free floating. It's a little more expedient.
You're saying
absolutely.
like Matisse at the end of his
In
career?
a way, yeah, in a way,
Yeah.
right. In a
Yeah.
way.
That, you know, that's an interesting topic at some point. You know, what happens to your art as you age? You know, what techniques do you use that are different?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
A
art
lot of,
making.
oh,
Go
What
ahead.
what I think it's interesting on this piece is the inversion of of space, which you can read. You know, the upper part you could read as a landscape, something going on in a landscape.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Once you go down, you feel
Yeah.
you are in space looking down on Earth. You
Yes.
know, so there is a very interesting
Right.
spatial inversion going on,
Yeah.
You're
which
right.
which
Absolutely.
I think it's interesting.
I
Yeah.
think you're right.
It
I
is.
think
It's a good.
And I
And-
can see why she was called a surrealist for sure.
Ah. I think the bottom part looks like an arm to me, or it looks like a body part.
Ah,
You
yeah.
you
And I
could read it as that too, right? Yeah.
too.
Mm,
And I think
Mhm.
that that kind of is why, to me, it reminds me of bacon. Because of
yeah.
the body parts and the different.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. What gallery? I'm sorry. Is this in Mark?
Paul Casman. It's on like 27th and 10th Avenue, I believe.
Okay.
But the hand is probably. Can you close in? It's a photograph, right?
Looks
I
like
mean, it must be a
Yes.
photograph.
Yeah.
Which
Look at that. Yes.
it's a
Definitely.
photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I,
Um,
I just looked her up, and I see all these very interesting images that are definitely from that surrealist group down in Mexico, you know, that must be
yeah,
all your
exactly.
work. But
Is
Right.
is there a date on the piece, Mark? Can you
This, I believe, is
zoom in the
I
below?
think they were very late.
Show me.
I think this was like in the whoop. Sorry. I
oh,
don't know what happened.
oh boy.
Speak
There
up.
it is. So this was, let's see if there's
Yeah,
a
let
date.
me see. Yeah, here. Is there something?
Yeah, I
Ah,
can't, it's
yeah,
80,
88.
85 or 86,
I
88
see.
even.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
interesting. Yeah,
So these are pretty late,
Yeah.
Yeah.
considering that she was, what, painting in the 30s and 40s, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like what she wrote here. Am I a surrealist? Am I a sophist, a Buddhist, a Zoroastrian? Am I an extremist, an alchemist, a contortionist, a mythologist, a fantasist, a humorist? Must we artists bow our heads and accept a label without which we do not exist? The underlying ideas of surrealism are still very much with me. And this was in 1989.
Yeah.
And she says, but I have no label except artist.
And we labeled her as a surrealist.
Yeah,
So I also like
along
this.
with everybody else.
I like this because of the combination of abstraction and figuration.
I do
So,
too.
Yes.
right? So there's like a perfect balance, of the two where it just absolutely becomes one thing, one piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like just her forms,
Yeah, they're great.
like in her shapes. I think that that's
Yeah.
really nicely done.
Yeah. As is the color.
Mm.
Color's great.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The black is very powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
black.
yeah.
Mhm. And it's got a
Let's
lot
see.
of other tones in it, in the black.
There we go. I want to just take a look at this area right here. Whoop.
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
So she's just repurposing other paintings, right? Like
Mm.
successful, let's say, that she just,
Oh.
adds to her,
Ah.
her, right? Her,
Mhm.
her
Mm.
language.
Mm.
Okay. So
Very nice.
here's another, this is
Oh.
Picabia, obviously. There was
Huh.
I saw two shows. I think there were three Picabia shows in the city right now. And I
Mhm.
saw two of them.
Oh my
This
God.
was at the Michael Werner Gallery
Mm.
on 77th, I think,
Mhm.
Mm.
east side. And this was a show. He did a lot of painting of women. Okay, so they're nude women, which is a convention of Western art.
Mhm.
And
My God.
this is also employs what was called his transparencies, which is
Oh.
was which was sort of adopted by David Sally and others, just in layering, multiple layering, this highly not what's the word, almost a kind of a camp, right? Campy, almost, approach to painting, drawing from illustration, drawing from,
Oh.
from, uh, what's the word? Pulp magazines, this and that,
Mhm.
Oh.
creating an artwork like, this is like ridiculously sentimental. And I mean, it's beautifully painted,
Oh.
Same painter?
but, huh?
This is Picabia too?
These are all Picabia now.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
But he had many different periods,
Wow.
and this was a later period where he just took almost like calendar type of
Oh, like
Yeah.
all cap.
sentimental, almost
Mm.
copying the work, the idioms of other artists, photographers, etc., and turned it into
Mm.
fine art just as a kind of a provocation,
Mhm.
as just keeping people off of their off balance.
I wonder if you could go back again to that other one. No, the next one, the sweet one. You can see that he used the canvas over and over again, unless that is deliberate. Might be
What do you mean?
deliberate anyway. In the background,
What are
there's
you
a lot
talking
of
about?
layering all over it.
Yeah, yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
the figure also as well. Um,
I like this Picasso
Yeah.
thing,
Look
It's,
at that. Look at the texture. I don't know if
Yeah, oh, who knows? I'll tell you, you're going to see some paintings. He experimented a lot with materials. There were
uh-huh.
some paintings in the gallery that I didn't photograph that were that the surfaces were highly abraded, and
Mm.
he,
Ah.
and what do you call it?
Mm.
Uh, there's a
Protage.
technique. There's a technique where you use layers of different materials with different drying times, then the whole thing. It's called crazing, crazing.
Oh, yeah.
There's another word for it in painting, where the different layers dry at different,
They crackle.
and they crackle. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was also leaving paintings out in the rain, and he was doing like all manner of,
Oh, boy.
experiments to see what would happen and
Yeah.
what a painting could be. So this one that's painted over, who knows what he was up to. It does look like there's a painting in the back.
Yeah.
This line here,
Yeah.
right here, and these two things. So yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm with Hans. This looks like a definite Picasso-esque.
Hmm. A strange thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't like this at all.
I don't
See,
either.
I love it.
You do?
I love it because Picabia just kept pushing the
Yeah.
boundary,
I see that.
pushing the envelope, like what a painting could be. And it was all kind of done with this sense of not just provocation, not just to stick it to people, but just out of exuberance. Like he was just having so much fun. And he didn't, I mean, that's what it appears to me. I haven't read a biography or anything, but it just seems like he was having a great time doing this and finding out how to make a painting, like what it could be.
Yeah.
And, like, again, this is just from some sort of nudie magazine, right?
Oh, gosh.
I'm sure, I doubt that whether there was a live model, but who knows? There could have been. But I think he was aping the style of, a nudie magazine, right? Which is a cheap version, a cheapened version, a kitschy version of, of the nude.
Yeah, he had also, not, I mean, he didn't have a style. I mean, he has one, but he
Right.
was he was all over the place in a way.
All over the place.
And,
All over the place.
That's what he had a hard time, so to be accepted a long time,
Yeah.
until they figured, it is actually about freedom in a way also.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was also criticizing the art, machinery.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
The
Like
canon.
I think this is sort of hilarious, the eyes, because there's no attempt to make them real, to make them an actual person's eyes, or to have any kind of sentiment, or any kind of emotion at all.
Right.
They're just, you know what I mean?
But this is it's so also contemporary almost,
That's
you see so many young painters which do this type of thing, like this
Absolutely.
range figures which are not really humans anymore. Or they are, but it's so interesting how the body and the head don't it's not the same person. It's like two persons,
Yeah.
It's very weird. But,
and the coloring reminds me of Hopper.
Dark and
it's an artificial stage color in a way. Could be also Art Students League,
exactly.
Somebody
showed me this, I would think, they're kind of a newer student.
Right,
But he's very contemporary in that sense, as Hans was saying. At an art students league or a student painting has some painterly, legitimacy, viability as a style, for an artist to draw on, right? To use, an academic bad painting So like all of these ideas were explored with kind of this kind of devious pleasure, by Picabia.
I
So,
find
And
it, I'm sorry.
yeah,
and
go ahead.
this piece, it's like it's so transgender, or you have,
That's
it
true.
could be it could be painted today in a way, from
Absolutely.
it's very
Absolutely.
interesting.
My goodness.
It's
What are you
actually
going to
very
say,
interesting.
Marie?
No, I was just going to say, I find it fascinating how some artists are allowed to explore into different styles, like a Picasso. He has a blue period, he does cubism, he does all of these different styles. And then somebody else tries to have a lot of, different movements, and they're not accepted. I just find it really, I don't know what that is. Is it
Oh,
because
well,
Picasso
what
is
artist,
so
what do you
different?
mean? What's not accepted?
Well, I think that a
What,
lot of, like what you were saying, he tried a lot of different things, but you know,
Mm.
I think if you looked at Picasso, he also tried a lot of different things, but people think that each one of his movements were successful. Whereas other artists that try a lot of things, and it's one of the bad things I think about trying to be accepted, is that you have to come up with a style that people recognize you for. And so it kind of stops some of the creative movement that you have.
well, I understand what you're saying. Um, I think that's more a function of the market today. And I think it has been a function of the market that you had to explore one specific area and you had to have a signature style and you had to sort of stick with it for the purposes of commodification and, for, I guess, to have a certain seriousness, to be considered serious. You had to-
Yeah, in that regard, I would like to share the screen for a moment,
You
because
can go.
there was a show in Zurich 2016, and and there was a huge show about Picabia, and I didn't take photographs, but maybe this is not uninteresting about him, because I took this photograph. I didn't took the painting of the piece Volucelle too, but you see here, this painting was shown at the Salon de Independence, which opened in February 1923. It was hung at the base of the stairwell. So he was underneath, somewhere hidden. In response, Picabia published in an article in La Vie Moderne, dismissing the Salon as a public utility where painters are praised only if they have a good contract with the leading dealer.
Yes.
So you see that at 1923,
Yeah, the more
that
things
was happening.
change, the more they stay the
Yeah.
same, right?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
No,
So
but like why are some people, it's even in acting or music, it's the same. Some people could be known as a comedic, actor, and they're pigeonholed and that's all they do. Other people like Pacino or other people can, have a broader range and people accept that they can do that. It's just, I don't know, fascinates
Yeah.
me. Some
Yeah.
people kind of can do it and other people can't.
Yeah.
Can people hear me?
Yes, but we
We
can't
Yes.
see you yet.
can't see you.
No,
Welcome.
well, I don't know how I can fix that. Forgive me, but I don't know how I can fix that. I'm on my Mac. I think it's a function of fame. And I think that's the answer. If you're famous, you can try anything and it will be looked at. If you're not famous, it can be dismissed. I think it's just a question of fame.
Yeah.
So let me just, if anyone's tuned in, I just want to mention to our viewers that Marcia Yeager has joined us, but we can't see her. Right, Marcia?
Yeah, I don't know why.
There isn't a video,
There
something.
is, I opened it up because there was a red mark through it. I opened it up. I opened up the audio, but it's my Mac and I just can't deal with it right now.
That's
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
So we're
So
glad you're
anyway,
here.
welcome. And we're looking at some work by Francis Picabia, who I'm sure we all know. And I think, he's enjoying a somewhat, as I said, he has 3 shows in New York. I saw 2 of them.
Oh,
He's always been on the map for a long time. He had a big
Yes.
retrospective. I guess it was at MoMA. It was maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember.
wow. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a huge
He's not alive,
retrospective.
is he?
No. Did you say, is he alive?
Yeah, he's not.
No, not at all. Not even a
Mhm.
little. No.
This
Except his work lives. His work,
unfortunately, yeah, but
his work
He's very
lives.
alive, I would say. He's very alive.
Mm,
is this an
He's very alive.
examination? Is this an examination of the kitsch that he employed?
yes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
gosh, look at this one. Oh, my.
So this, I mean, the back is great. It's beautiful. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
but and the black background is nice.
Mm,
But the little thing, the little indication of the sheet or
Mm.
whatever that she's sitting on is like hilarious, right? It's pretty funny. So there's
mm,
So many things come to mind. Botticelli, John Currin,
yeah.
and all the, it's, there is a
Mm.
connection. He was very influential, Picabia, I think,
Oh, yeah.
at
So
the
I
end.
think so I think there's
To
a
the young
reason. I think
generation.
there's a reason why he's being considered and embraced again right now. And I think it's because so much contemporary art has adopted so many of his strategies, and drawing from different, visual representations, to, in the pursuit of his ends of his work, which is just,
Mm.
liberate and have fun.
Mhm.
Oh. Mm.
Mhm. Nice.
I mean, they're all kind of fun, interesting paintings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not so sure.
But that's
But it's,
Goodness.
but whatever, he signed it,
Yeah.
boldly.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I don't think all of them are great, but
Mhm.
they're all,
But surprising.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at this.
I like this a lot.
But he knew so many, you see many things in here.
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
from Léger to Raoul and everything, the French. Look at this.
Raoul Dufy.
These glasses, these eyes.
Wow.
It's so wonderful.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
He passed in 1953.
so yeah, it's interesting. I've never read anything, but it would be interesting to look at the relationship between his, his work and Picasso.
Yeah.
Because obviously, Picasso created a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities for artists, in exaggeration, in, caricature, and just purely painterly, interests, just using paint as paint, and but it's something else with Picasso for sure. It's not quite as irreverent. Picasso, there was always a kind of an underlying seriousness, a macho, Spanish, thing. And Picabia, I think was quite different.
Yeah.
he
Mm.
was really more provocative in some. I mean, they were both provocative, but he was more of a Dada. Came out from Dada.
Yes,
Didn't
yes.
wasn't he big in Dada?
Yes, yes,
Dada and surrealism.
right.
Yeah. I don't know what to
I
make
would
of
never
this
call
one.
his work. I would never call him a surrealist. He was just too silly to be a surrealist.
He's very close on the edge of kitsch sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think Picasso avoided kitsch. He didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Picasso was probably
always-
strict
yeah.
and said, "No, when it looks like kitsch, throw it away." And that's good art or whatever. And he
Yeah.
was embracing kitsch in a way.
I don't think he was on the edge. I think he was well in the well of kitsch.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think you're right.
Kitschy coup.
So
Where did you see this, Mark?
I saw it I was in New York over the weekend, and this was at Michael Werner Gallery.
Oh, which one? Is
There's
it more than
there's
one?
only one in New York, Michael Werner. It's on 77th and Madison,
Yeah,
between
yeah,
Madison
yeah.
and 5th.
It's a small, very lovely gallery.
It's a great, great gallery.
Yeah.
It's
Several
yeah,
floors. They have several floors.
Is this about age? It looks like a young face, a face that's middle-aged and then an older.
this?
Yeah,
an
I don't think so.
infant is
it just
very-
seems like
I think
I don't know.
I think it's just play. I don't think there's this
Do you see the three faces or no?
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
and edulous. What is
I mean,
that?
I don't see a narrative per se in this.
Okay,
I
I
see-
don't know. What is edulous?
I don't know.
I have no idea. You can Google it, see what it means. I don't know.
For strength at edulous is cooking for you. Okay, that must be a place. Restaurant in Toronto.
Uh-huh.
I
Edulous.
don't know what these objects with the
species
dots are either.
number of
Does anyone recognize what those may be or not?
No.
What?
These
Yeah, these
oval
forms with the dot.
objects with the
I thought first they could be instruments which you play, when you. But
Yeah.
I don't see the mouthpiece. I don't know.
Oh,
And then I
edulous.
thought maybe they were palettes, but then that also doesn't.
Well,
Or
it's
fruit, some kind of
edulous
fruit.
means edible in Latin, so maybe it is fruit, Barbara.
Oh,
It's maybe right. It could be a bean type of. I don't know.
A fruit and timber tree species.
but
Oh,
also about many
you're
things.
right.
The pleasure of enjoying a gathering around the table, to
uh-huh.
share authentic dishes, and to be greeted like a friend.
I see. Okay.
So that sort of fits too.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't recognize
Yeah, I liked it
Food.
better when I didn't understand.
what kind of food it is.
It must have been food, though. Yeah.
the
It's so nice.
hand with the flower.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
amazing.
goodness.
It's so nice.
Hmm.
And the frame is also great.
Yeah, I love the frame.
Yeah.
The great thing about a Picabia is you can put it in any kind of frame and it just sort of ups the ante.
Yeah.
It just makes it more kitsch.
Yeah. Right.
Like look at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
such an awful frame with
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
but it's perfect.
It's like
Yeah.
church frame.
I wonder if it was framed at the time.
I think it's just
Chose the
great. I
frame.
love these.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Does that
It's
kind of
fun.
remind you of the artist Limpica?
Oh,
It's
no.
so
she
bad
was-
that they're good. Is that it?
It was very cubist in style.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one.
Look at this.
This was in a second gallery, which is another great gallery that you should know about that I just became aware of. It's called 1900 2000. That's the name of the gallery.
Mhm.
1900 2000.
Uh-huh.
And it's a French gallery.
Mhm.
And they had like about 7 paintings, and then a very small room with probably 25 drawings by Picabia. I couldn't take pictures of the drawings because the director was there and it was too small of a room and I just didn't want to be imposing. But it was great to see his drawings. And interestingly, he drew very, very well.
Oh, I'm sure.
He
You
had
should have put
yeah,
your media pass on.
yeah, right.
Where is this gallery?
It's on Madison
Oh,
and around 78th or 77th, something like that.
Is
It's
it
a
in a
great,
building?
it's a great gallery. It's in a building. It's on the 5th floor, I think. The 4th and 5th floor. They had 2 floors. Isn't this great?
I love it.
it
And
is.
it's called
so
Gallery
popular.
1900 to 2000.
Yes.
This is really, oh, this is so interesting. Oh, boy.
What is this? This is
It's
masonite.
another Picabia.
Really?
Yeah. He
What is
did,
it made of? It looks like a collage of masonite.
it's not, it's painted.
Oh,
Really? It's entirely painted. It almost looks like,
Just flat. Yeah. It's just painted.
ah,
well, there's an
So-
interesting frame.
I
The
mean,
frame worked perfectly with the image.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does. It does.
maybe this was chosen by him, his frames.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it, but
Mm,
could be. I don't know.
I like this a lot.
Right.
yeah.
I mean, usually when you get, those perfect, relationships between frame and painting, it's usually not the artist that was involved. It's almost too decorated, like a decorator figured it out. You know what I mean?
But sometimes it's
Um,
the artist.
Or the
Sometimes,
collector,
in the case of
the
Mondrian, like Mondrian,
collectors,
yeah, the collectors, have
they
a
change also the frame if they don't like it.
the decorator. They have the decorator do
There
it.
should
And
be a
it's very
stipulation, no
it's too
change of
tasteful.
frame.
It's almost too tasteful for Picabia.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
oh my gosh. Oh, oh, look at this.
Yeah, it's so,
I like these Picabias also because there's never the pretension of truth, of right? So Picasso, there is, and with other artists, there's a sense that there's something truthful that you're gleaning, that you're getting from these works of art. And with Picabia, he's always subverting any kind of notion that you're looking at anything that's anything but a total fiction and a lie.
Yeah.
And I like that. You know.
Oh,
I love what you just said. That's so interesting.
Well, it's a very contemporary posture, uh, that we just don't, we don't believe in the authenticity or even the like a Rothko is so dead serious.
Oh,
A
yeah.
Pollock, you
Yeah.
know,
mm,
even de Kooning, there was something, sort of aggressive, about his women and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
some kind of
It was raw.
statement.
It was
It was
raw.
raw of
Yeah.
authenticity, and Picabia totally subverts that. It's just a fiction, and we know that painting is a fiction. I mean,
Yeah.
Picasso,
Yes.
Picasso was famously said, a painting is a lie that makes you see the truth. So he said it out front. He knew that. All artists know that it's, it's essentially a lie. But we somehow, believe that it has this power to reveal something despite that.
Mhm.
But Picabia is basically saying the revelation is that it's just always a fiction. It's always a lie. That's the revelation, which is fun.
Yeah.
I have to agree with it, but
Yeah, no, I like,
Yeah, it's a lie which shows you a lie.
I love the lace in this.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Hans,
yeah,
what are you saying?
A lie which shows you a lie.
A lie,
yeah.
Is that what you said?
lie within the
There's no getting around it. It's a lie,
It
No
is a
getting around it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just it's fun to look at.
This is a horrible painting.
It's horrible. It's terrible.
Also, you know how it's such a, you know, there is no dynamic in there in a way. It's
No,
Yeah.
because it's so, you know, there is no.
Oh.
it's
It's
really
amazing.
terrible.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But you can tell he's a great painter, though. I mean, I think that lace, that underskirt is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah, it's fine. Exactly.
And
Yeah,
that little blue skirt is beautiful. And I think
Yeah.
her legs are nice too. Other than that,
of course. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
so it's
I
brushed.
think he was.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
still-
he was having fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think he was
Comparing
having a good time
contrast-
painting.
Mhm, mhm.
You know?
Compare and contrast that with the Monet and the
Right.
woman in the white dress.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
By far, this is awful. Awful.
Well, I'm glad we can all agree on that. That's a good place to begin.
Yeah.
Okay. So next,
Mm.
this is by a painter. You can decide what you think of him.
Mm.
He's a contemporary artist. He's very much alive.
Yes.
And his name is Mark Grotjahn. And I saw these paintings, and they're all basically identical because he's a contemporary, right? At Gagosian on Madison Avenue.
Mhm,
Okay, so he has a major dealer, right?
mhm.
How do you
So-
spell his last name, Mark?
Grotjahn.
Mhm.
And he sort of, became pretty widely known. How long? About 10 years ago, Hans?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, longer,
Something like
maybe
that.
longer.
So this is all done with a squeegee or some implement.
Yeah.
There's no hand, brush. And
And
then
he uses a lot of white, like
uses a
matte
lot of
stuff.
white,
Yeah.
and then he throws paint at it, like you see this,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which Marie does
But
occasionally.
it works.
It almost looks like a forest of birch trees.
Yeah.
You have it up close like that.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
Here's another one. He's
Oh.
using primaries, it looks like, just red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a second painting, and they're all basically the same. It's like a factor. This is what he does. I don't know why he does it. These are huge, by the way. They're like, I would say maybe 8 feet across, 6 by 8 feet or something. I don't know.
Oh,
They're
boy.
big.
Mhm.
So they're definitely made for the art market,
Yeah.
right?
Someone's
They're-
Southampton home that's all white.
Yeah, they're created. They're definitely created for the market.
Yeah.
And, they don't do anything for me, to tell you the truth. But the only reason I took these pictures was for Marie.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So welcome.
I think, I don't know. I feel like they're a little too busy for me, but I appreciate his mark making.
Yeah.
But I think there's like not a lot of area where you can breathe, where your eye can just rest.
You
You're right.
remind me of spin art.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right, right. There's something between, it's something between Pollock and spin art. You got it right.
Mhm, mhm.
First of all, I like spin art, and second of all, Pollock is much better than this. It has much
Well, totally.
more layers, and it's
Yeah.
Between
Yeah.
Pollock and whom?
These look formulaic. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
It's like a formula.
Spin
Like,
art,
okay.
Mhm.
Marcia.
So that's why I took those.
Remember
Okay.
spin art?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
that's why you took this photograph.
this is a photo I took in the subway. I just
Oh, I love that.
Oh
A
my gosh.
musician.
that's
Nice.
fabulous.
Oh,
Fun.
I like the legs.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
fit the whole heaviness of the cello.
Oh my. Yeah. Oh,
I like it. Fun.
good.
Anyway,
That's
this is another Picabia. It wasn't in the show. I took these. I can't remember from the
Mhm.
internet for some reason. I came across them. This and this.
Mhm.
So this is 1966. It says. I don't know what this one is.
Mm.
This is more, surrealist territory.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I like it though. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's great.
holds together.
Yeah, it's great.
I do want to say that I just putting in more Grotjahn. How do you say his last name?
I think Grotjahn.
Grotjahn.
His
Grotjahn.
There's
Grotjahn.
another piece that, I mean, he's a great artist. I just think the piece that you saw wasn't my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like this too. I like how I like how prominent his signature is
Yeah.
Mhm.
in white on the black,
Yeah.
which is fun.
Yeah.
He just, you have to think about these things, like what they are and what they mean. And it's interesting.
Yeah. What year is that?
66, it says.
This is
Whoops, sorry.
Picabia.
Yeah.
Picabia.
When I looked him up, it said that he passed in 53.
Really?
Maybe I got it
About
wrong.
that, I don't think that is the case.
Perhaps I got that wrong.
Yeah.
Posthumous piece.
Yeah. He knew.
Yeah, right. He died yeah, you're right. It says 53. Isn't that funny?
Oh, wait, maybe this is 46.
Yeah, it's 46.
Yeah.
Okay.
46.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
46.
There we go.
46.
I was gonna
Sorry
say,
about
no, maybe that's a bad forger. And they just use the
Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
date.
A really stupid forgery, right?
Oh, God. I'm wondering what this is, but of course we don't need to know what it is.
Oh, no.
For me, it feels like a mask.
Ah.
I don't know.
Mm.
Something, a piece of a hat, something of a butterfly,
No.
Ah.
like, I don't know,
Mhm.
a wing of a butterfly. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I don't.
So these are Marcia, are you still with us?
Yes. I hope so.
So this is a Romare Bearden.
Oh.
Marcia sent,
Hmm.
I guess it was from the Michael Rosenfeld Gallery.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to say something?
No, my voice is I'm still sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Hear
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Not great.
Oh,
All right.
Is it RSV, Marcia?
No,
Oh.
it's an aftermath from COVID.
Oh. Mm.
Well, anyway, I hope you get better quickly.
Quickly,
Yeah.
it's
I know
not the
it's
operative
drag.
word here, Mark. This is my fourth week. so quickly is not in the lexicon. I just
Mm.
want to get better so I could go to Florida and see my son. You know, that's my
Yes.
goal,
Yeah.
but I
Mm.
can't go like this.
Mm.
So this was
Mm.
the same show that was with Nancy Grossman,
Yes.
Michael Rosenfeld, and they
Yes.
had a kind of a wonderful friendship and
Yes.
a symbiosis in working out the problems of large collages and their warping. Uh,
Oh,
uh, I said once before, I was not aware that he was a collagist. I like his collages almost more than his paintings. They're wonderful. They're really just wonderful.
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
He was a master at this. He was
Yeah.
just a
Oh
master. They were
God,
so
brilliant,
good.
just brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I came across something in my archive, which is a whole lot smaller than yours, guys, of a large, very large panel. I didn't send it along. It was like 4 pieces put together. It was enormous. I would
Mhm.
say it was like, I don't know, 25 feet by 8 feet, something like
Was
that.
was that the one in the recent Harlem show at
Yes,
the
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. It's from the
Mhm.
Harlem show that I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a masterful, but kind of busy.
Yeah.
These are much more compositionally wonderful. In my
Right. I agree.
oh,
I totally agree.
the composition that he does here is just remarkable. Look at
I
how the
agree.
eye goes around from the pale beige, the upper head to the arm to the one on the left, that triangular shape on the left. And he keeps your eye moving around, which I think is
Totally.
just a mark of great success.
I agree.
And yet he gives you
Absolutely.
some resting space in the white. Like
Mm.
Marie was saying, that it's not that busy that your eye can't rest. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I agree. These are great.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, he had a great eye, just an amazing eye.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This is also his.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
This one is very unusual in that it is less like a collage and more like a painting.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. And
You know,
very
this
religious
part is
too.
so painterly. The top is so painterly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more collage down at the bottom. It
Mm.
looks like a baptism, right?
It
Oh,
is about, I
Ah,
think.
Yeah,
yeah, Mark, you're right.
but
yeah,
it's nice.
it is.
But it's
Mm.
very painterly, and it almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at this. Oh, boy.
It's a landscape.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But I mean, look at that. A celestial landscape, a
Mm,
pastoral landscape,
yeah.
a business landscape.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mm,
it's like heaven and earth together with the
yeah.
angels and the blue sky and
Ah,
the freight boats and the buildings. I mean, it's like,
I just love
mm,
I
yeah,
love the play with on this one. I love the play with scale, like
yeah.
how the
Mhm.
birds are huge.
Yeah.
This train, this locomotive is sitting there
Yeah.
in the mountain. And
Yeah.
then these
Mhm.
boats are very small, which are in the foreground.
yes,
And the
yes.
buildings are very small.
You
So
play it with your head.
it's an interesting
Yeah.
juxtaposition of sizes, of
Mm,
scale.
mhm.
I
Yeah.
love that when the foreground becomes the background and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm,
a dynamic interplay
mm,
that you don't expect.
Mhm.
yeah. That's great. Oh, look at this. Huh.
I think this was an homage to jazz music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way,
Mm,
speaking of jazz, I saw a piece in the New York Times about Chucho Valdez. And Chucho Valdez has something on Spotify called his rendition of Embraceable You.
Ah,
I urge you to listen to it. It's so fabulous.
ah,
How do you spell Chucho?
Chucho. He's
T-H-U-C.
an Afro jazz musician, Valdez, Valdez.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of ska, I think, but he's a jazz pianist.
Okay.
And Embraceable You, I mean, I don't know who wrote that. Gershwin, Berlin,
Sounds like it could be Gershwin. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
just fabulous.
Okay.
Okay, so this is, and I think the background must be painted in some way because you can't get that effect with collage. And I don't know if he did airbrush, but all this looks like an airbrush or watercolor,
Yeah. Could be. Looks like it. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
I find that the composition here is kind of stiff, but it's interesting just the same.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I should be able to do that.
Do you know when they were made around?
I'm guessing. There may be a blurb in there that I included, probably like I don't know, the 50s, 60s, something like that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mm,
I mean, they are well composed, I think.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Perfect, it's like
Yeah.
This one is terrific.
Look at this. Oh
You know,
boy.
King Cotton. King
Ah.
Cotton and what it's done to the blacks in the South.
Mm,
It's a landscape, but it's a social landscape,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It-
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It speaks to a specific group and a specific era of exploitation.
Mhm.
And I just think the composition is fabulous.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good example of the power of collage. Because if you had painted the faces, I don't think they would have
Mhm.
Yeah,
necessarily
Yeah.
stood out
yeah.
unless-
The background is painted, like the gray, it looks to me, has been painted.
Mm,
And that stretch of blue looks as though it had been painted and collaged.
yeah.
But the faces are photographic, you're right.
I just think that that's super powerful.
Yeah, it's a dichotomy between the painted and the photorealism.
And these white dots are basically cotton, or what? I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, King Cotton.
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't know what the name of this is, but as soon as I saw it, I said, that's the cotton fields in the South in
I
the
see.
Sure.
20th
Yeah.
century, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
And what it says to me is the content here, to me, is exploitation.
Mhm.
That's the content. I mean, it's beautifully done. Just beautiful.
I
Yeah.
think it's more powerful using collage in this example than just pure painting.
Yeah.
I tell you, his work and Nancy Grossman's work has given me a whole different perspective of collage.
Posterity. Yeah.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
Mm,
It's interesting that this gray sky, it's for me, it's more like a European sky than a United States sky,
Oh,
mm,
really?
Right.
in a
Mm.
way. Weirdly.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's like
He has a European sensibility?
it's so mid Europe. It's so we have always, we have like 3 weeks just gray skies. Sometimes in America you don't have that. I have a feeling you have so.
In the North Pacific Northwest, you do, but that's it.
Okay, yeah.
San Francisco, you have a lot of gray skies.
Okay, yeah.
Seattle.
but not in the cotton fields. I have.
No, not in the cotton
Not in
fields.
the cotton fields.
No.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking that these are sort of early. Am I right? Are these early collages?
I really don't.
You know why? Because they're a little more painterly. Even the landscape element is a little more conventional. His later stuff is just much more sort of flat, pure collage without the landscape.
Mm.
You know, without the horizon and landscape format.
Hmm.
So I'm guessing that these were sort of
I
more
don't know.
these came out of painting. These came out of his painting, whereas the collages then took on a life of their own and
Think you're-
became just more about
Like-
flatness.
Is
And
there a date in the upper left-hand corner?
I can't read it. I tried to read it, but let me see.
Did I send you a blurb? Because sometimes I do and sometimes I
Yeah,
don't.
there was no, I looked. No,
No blurb. Okay.
No. I can't really read that.
Mm.
You know what? I'll look it up on my phone while we're talking.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful work.
Yeah.
It's
It is, yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So this is sort of what I'm talking about. It becomes more about
Um,
collage later.
Yeah.
Like this is more Matisse, you know, or something.
Yeah.
But
And
still.
a little Picabia in there too.
Yes.
Of course.
I actually like how the nude is somehow in there within this abstract world. It's really,
Mm.
I mean, graphic nude it's pretty funny. It's pretty
Mm.
interesting.
I like how raw those shapes of the trees are too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like he just like tore them, you know, and like you can still see.
Yeah, collage is fast. Collage can be very fast. You know, you just throw something down and look at it, go, oh, that's interesting, you know?
Or it can be very labored.
Yeah,
Bet.
either way.
I thought
But it can be very fast
that
too.
has so many pieces. I think he worked
Yeah.
a long time on that. I mean, I would work a long time here. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm probably, I'm trying to see. I have Nancy Grossman in with this. Just a minute. I got something. Oh, I lost it again.
Mm.
Romare,
I love this whole line here,
La
right here. This
Primavera,
axis.
1964.
I like this goes from the fish to the
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
figure to the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and the colors, you know, right in there are really great.
Beautiful.
Mm.
This is 1964, 8 by 13.
Mm.
This one,
Yeah,
8 by 13 inches.
yeah,
That's small, 8 inches.
it is.
Wow.
I thought you
Wow.
were gonna say 8 feet by 13 feet. I'm like, wow, that's
8 inches that's pretty small.
Yeah.
Some of them were small.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
1964.
Yeah,
Mm.
some of them were small, but they have one thing in common. They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing these, Marcia. And you, those were
Yeah, it's really great.
It's the one
Yes.
and
Thank you,
only
Marcia.
time-
Great.
It's the one and only time I went in since my son
Ah,
got sick.
yeah. Yeah.
See.
Did you feel better after seeing the art?
Well, you know, I'm distracted.
This is a nice one. I like.
Yes.
love this.
Oh, I
It's,
love this. Ah,
Yeah.
I love this purple here.
I did
the right way. Do you have it the correct way?
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 These
yeah.
are the faces.
Yeah.
These
I
are the
love it.
faces.
Ah, yeah.
There's a third face to the right, that green.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. But I
Um,
love this purple, that color just sitting
Yes.
there.
Isn't that
Mm.
That was
great?
probably an afterthought.
mm,
Yeah, that's the
Boom.
way I sent it to you. That's correct.
mm.
It's so beautiful.
It is. It's
It's
great.
like silk screen. The
It
color.
was done in 1970.
Mhm.
and this is 14 by 20.
Wow.
Mhm.
It's called Memories.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was really, really good. He really knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Kept it
Mhm.
interesting and beautiful and
Yeah.
moving. He was excellent.
Yeah.
I wonder if he painted all of these pieces. It looks like they were hand painted.
Yes, I think that they were personally. I do, and he must have had like a storehouse,
Absolutely.
of different painted papers and
Ah,
photographic
Yeah.
images.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Ah,
it sort of makes the case for me
Mhm.
where I would take a large sheet of, say, cold pressed paper, watercolor paper
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
that has no tooth, and sort of paint different colors in tempera, shall we say, or acrylic or watercolor, and cut them up and see what I could do.
yeah. Yeah, it makes me feel like working also. These shapes are so beautiful, the painting.
Yeah, but they compositionally, they're so strong.
Yes. Very.
It's so
So do you
strong.
think he planned the composition and then went back and he did the,
You know, with collage, you can move stuff around
Yeah,
until you glue it down.
Yeah.
So
until
you
you're
can
satisfied with
you
what you
can
have.
keep tweaking until
Yeah.
it's right. You can keep,
no,
Mhm.
I'm just curious as to the process. Was it like, Monet would like that he was a landscape artist and he knew what he wanted to paint. So he planted, flower,
oh,
landscapes. And it seems to me that they're so strong that he knew that he wanted, these three figures and how he knew what he wanted to be.
Mhm. Mhm.
Possible, but there's also, you're not wrong in that, but there's also the possibility of play and how it enters in and changes things.
Mm. Mhm.
So, like you have two
Mm.
horizon lines, if you will, uh,
Mhm.
and you just don't know what happens when you start moving things around. Well,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you said.
Oh no, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't do
No,
color.
I don't think you are wrong. I think he may have had a vision, but that vision also would probably have changed somewhat while
Sure.
when he was doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
I really don't know. I'm
Mm.
just guessing.
Mhm.
Because there is that element of play when you're doing a collage.
I love the hands.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
Just how they,
The
work.
direction, yeah,
Just how they work. Yeah.
Mm.
Across
they
the,
can move around the painting. He's just a master
Mm.
at
he's so good.
that.
Mhm.
I love that one.
I
Mhm.
do too. These are all great.
Also, what he does here, interestingly, which I remember when I first discovered him many years ago in New York City, from me, the first time I'd seen him, he was juxtaposing these gigantic heads onto these bodies. Look how big the heads are
Yeah.
relative to the bodies.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
was always playing with that scale, what you expect, relative to what you see.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
like that on this, how the heads become
Yeah.
prominent. And that he really,
I think that makes it more powerful because it's not,
yeah,
makes you
he's
look
using,
at it more because you're like,
yeah.
"Oh, there's a big head." Yeah.
But was he in Paris also, or what was his life? Does
I think in New York, he was
Yeah.
working in New York.
Didn't he
Yeah.
teach in New York?
I don't know his whole biography.
but never in Paris,
I don't
He was an
know.
American
Mm.
artist. Let's see what it says here.
because this jazz thing, it looks for me also more like
Ah.
something also.
He
I
was
feel
born in
something very
worked in,
European in his art, strangely enough.
Sorry.
he grew up in New York City and Pittsburgh. He went to New York University.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes, he began his artistic career in the American South, but in the U.S., when he was in the Army, World War II, he was in Europe, and he
Oh.
returned to Paris in 1950 and studied
Mm.
art history and philosophy at the Sorbonne.
Ah,
Mm.
now it makes sense. Now you see, that's where
Yeah, yeah.
the weather is great. That's the European sky. That's not the.
You're right.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
This is so European in
That's
a way.
funny.
Good
He
call.
died in 1988. He was a founding member of the Harlem-based art group known as Spiral.
Mhm, mhm.
Viral. Oh.
Um,
I see now.
he was
Yeah.
involved in the civil rights movement.
Mhm,
He was the author or co-author of several books.
Mhm.
mhm,
He was a
mhm.
songwriter.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
He
Oh,
was a
really?
co- he was a co-writer of the jazz classic Sea Breeze,
Oh my
which
God.
was recorded by Billy Eckstein.
Mm.
Mm, mhm.
Interesting.
I'll look that up.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Mark.
Right. He did everything.
It says here his style was strongly influenced by the Mexican muralists, interestingly, Diego Rivera
Oh,
and Orozco.
uh-huh.
That makes sense. Orozco,
Yeah.
Mhm,
particularly,
Mm.
used very flat colors and in kind
mhm,
of
mhm,
semi-geometric shapes. That makes sense.
mhm.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah, read his. I'm just reading from his Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Ovid.
that's
Yes.
Interesting.
interesting.
There's a
Wow.
lot there. You can read it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He did a children's book called The City, which I happen to have.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Do
And
you,
of course,
do you
it's,
have it
it's
handy?
all reproductions, but it's very beautiful.
Do you have it handy?
No,
I have to go upstairs to get it, but I could show it to you next week if you want.
Yes, yeah, would be nice.
Oh, okay, great.
I think
Should I photograph it or just hold it up?
no, photograph it and
Photograph it. Okay.
better.
Okay.
Yeah, so a bit nicer to look at.
Okay.
Oh, the wedding. Should I bring my pin collector again?
Okay. Also, wait. Let me go
I
here.
think we have from Mary.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to look at
Oh my
right
God.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get that up.
Is,
Here.
Is Phyllis?
I'd like to just preface this by saying I was given 2 assignments. That's what I did.
Right.
Does anyone hear from Marie? Not from Marie, excuse me, from Phyllis.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling well, unfortunately, today. She's
Oh.
fine. I know the weather didn't, hurt, the hurricane.
She's
Was
in
a-
Oh. Oh, she's in Florida. I forgot.
Mm.
What area is she in, Marie? Is she
She's more like
the East Coast, right?
Boca, like Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale? Oh, I think they're okay down there.
Yeah.
Just
Hope
rain
so,
and
too.
wind.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Marie, tell us what we're looking at.
Okay, so I had an assignment. This was the assignment Mark said was to paint with a lot of different colors. So, so,
Very different colors.
so I had a canvas that was blue for another project. And so I just added, you'll see, I just added some colors.
Which way does this go? You want it?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't go anywhere yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you can leave it like that.
Okay.
So
I like the ground is nice.
yeah. So the next picture, you see more color, right?
Okay, hold on. This one?
No. That's what I did for Hans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you sent more than that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't.
I sent you like one email with the colorful painting, and this one
Uh-huh.
was one that I had done for Hans.
Oh, I
He-
see. Sorry. Okay. Hold on.
Okay,
Uh,
this one was, I was only allowed to use blues and yellows,
Oh,
no white.
let me go
Yes.
back. Oh, sorry.
And we love that picture.
yeah, it's nice to see.
Yeah.
I bring my inhalator.
It's show and tell.
Okay, we're back here.
Okay, so I
Oh,
wanted to show you the process, that this is that other email. So the first thing was I had a blue canvas that I had painted. It was all blue. And
okay,
then,
hold on.
yeah,
Mhm. Here comes the red.
here comes, yeah, it's more like a dark pink. And it had some blues. And then, so
Okay.
what I like about this particular paint is that if I leave the paint on the canvas for a little bit, it stains the canvas. And then I move it with a squeegee and a paintbrush.
Do
Mhm.
you get a halo when you say it stains? Do you get
Well,
a?
yeah, you can see in the middle is
Mm.
where that green was.
Mhm.
Oh,
What do you, can you tell me which one you see right now?
The one that I painted for you, multicolor.
Okay.
I don't see a halo.
Can you see in the middle of the painting?
I see a different color, but I don't see a halo. I was
Oh.
just curious. I was just curious. When you say it stains, with the oil, sometimes it leaves a halo. That's nice.
Well, I don't think it's a halo, but it just stains. And then when I move it with the,
But it's still viable when you move it.
yes, I can still move the paint, but some of that original color it looks like it's silk screened.
yeah, yeah, I
I
see.
agree.
Yeah,
So you can see at the
So-
top, like where Mark has it, I think that it should be the opposite way, but
Yeah.
on the top, you'll see that there's, thank you, on the bottom, you see all of those colors. If you, I don't know if you can go
yeah,
deeper.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
can
like,
see that.
they're
Yeah.
like silk, they're like stained, they're silk screened, which is, I think, an interesting way to make those marks.
sure.
This
So-
is I like this piece a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's terrific. Is this on paper?
No, it's on canvas. It's 2 feet by either 4 or 5 feet. I think 4.
Oh,
Probably 2x4, I'm guessing.
Like 4, yeah.
Is it framed? Is the canvas solid framed, or is it just a sheet of material?
Oh, no, it's framed. It has like a gallery.
Mhm.
right,
This is a really nice piece.
yeah,
I mean, it's very fresh. It feels really good. The colors are good. I mean, this is a very consistent, good painting. You know,
yeah,
it's not overworked. You know, there's a lot of great areas in here. I love this. For some reason, I don't. Let me try this.
What kind of paint is it, Marie?
It's a acrylic paint that I found that it really flows so nicely.
Yeah, I love these. This
Yeah.
area. I love these things.
oh, yeah,
And the
You know,
thing I
and
love about it, it'll dry just like that.
good.
And it's
Mm.
very thick and yeah, it'll dry like that.
What is the
Yeah.
brand name?
I'll have to check it out. Creative something. I'll send
This
it.
is I like this.
Do that.
Yeah, I do
You're not
too.
allowed to. You're not allowed to touch this one.
I'm not touching it. I like it too.
Good.
Good, good.
So
Um,
Too many colors?
Hans,
No.
any mistakes in this one?
no mistakes, but
Hans
I-
will find it.
I have difficulties with the format.
Why?
The long shape.
I don't know. I don't know. It's for me. It has. It doesn't hold together for me. For me. Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I like it. I think the yellow that is, used discriminately throughout
Yeah,
the thing is
that's
really
fine.
nice.
I have
The
nothing against.
lines,
Yes.
the lines up here, the white, red, yellow, these little lines are terrific. I like the way, and then the repetition of the lines down here is nice. I think it's really quite good.
I would probably like it if it wouldn't be on already this light blue ground painting,
If it were on white canvas?
Yeah, I think I would probably more. For me it's too I don't know, it's too nice for me.
I know what you're saying. It doesn't stand out. It would have stood out more had I done it on.
Something is for me not. There are many elements which are nice. I agree, but it's not radical enough for me.
But you know what? I think it's not radical enough because of the background. It holds together too well. So I think either, I've had so many issues in the past because I don't use a similar background. I just leave it white. But I know what you're saying though. I like a lot of white because I think you get that contrast.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, I like it. I have no problem with it. I like that powder blue back there because it has that sort of
You're a blue freak.
huh?
You're a blue freak.
Well, I mean, besides that.
Thank you, Marshall. Thank you, Marshall.
I know. Hey, I know who I am. Okay.
You're fabulous is who you are. Blue freak.
But I like that blue. I mean, it gives it a kind of a strange little bit of a campy feel. A little too sweet, maybe. But I don't mind that. I find that just to be what it is. And I accept that. And I think there's enough going on, with the paint and the painterly qualities and the drips that, work. I like this painting. And so what if if it has a little bit of sweetness because of that, a little bit too neat,
It's so nicely integrated though.
I don't care. I accept that. That's part of it.
I like that it's so nicely integrated. It all fits together. And Marie, what were you saying about the staining? Are you talking about this sort of aqua in the middle? That's a stain from the previous?
Yeah, if I leave this particular paint on the canvas, I don't paint immediately. I let it sit for a while. It will do an interesting stain, which I think is a nice different type of mark.
Yeah.
I'm not just moving.
I agree.
I like the way that, that's really
I agree with you.
nice there in the center.
I've learned how to kind of do that.
Yeah.
But you see, I would love to have there where Mark said he likes this part down there. I like that too. The part you Mark, do you know which one?
Yes.
Why not making something bigger in there? It's like, you understand that's what it needs to be more forceful, forceful,
Where
thing.
in that lower left region, are you thinking, or?
Hold on a moment. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, What area are you referring
Yeah,
to?
all the way down, where it's so, where you get suddenly like this almost
Rainbow.
body thing, like really bodily color thing going on. Yeah, down there, you see.
Down here he's talking about.
No, the yellow, where the yellow, more on the right, more on the right. Yeah, now, yeah, there, yeah.
Over there. Mm.
There's something very painterly happens with
Yeah.
these 3G techniques,
Yeah.
Why not making a bigger thing with it and make, and why it's so, in a way, it's just down there something, what I'm saying? It's why not focusing more on those things and do them bigger?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Bigger. Yeah, just bigger, forceful.
Yeah.
Mm.
More
Okay.
square, less longitudinal and more square. Less
Sorry?
vertical and more square. Is that what
I
you're
think just he's just talking about a larger
Yes.
form, a
Yeah.
larger
Really?
event.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Mm.
I can
let's
see
say
that.
if you make like a pizza dough and then you stretch this thing and make a bigger form and put it
Mhm.
there,
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see
Not
that.
just a
But
little thing, bigger.
I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
But that being said, please leave this one alone, okay?
Yeah. Make a new one.
Make a new one, and
Yeah.
but I understand what you're saying, Hans, and I think that's
Maybe you need much more color
valid.
to do that. But so don't hesitate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate.
Mm.
Hans is keeping the canvas makers in business. So do another one for the sake of the economy.
Mhm.
The next one is Hans's study,
Oh.
which I did,
Which is what?
which is the blue and
Yeah.
yellow. Nope,
This?
it's a totally different email.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the one you
Oh,
showed
let me get that. Let me get that.
with the yellow line.
Because Hans said I could only use yellow and blue, 2 colors.
Right.
Oh,
I like
is that
that.
this? No.
No,
No,
it's
no, no.
the second one there, I think, which has
Okay.
resized, which has the title resized. Yeah, that is one. One
Can you
further, one down. Yeah, maybe we see something else then.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is. Yeah.
is this it?
Yeah.
Just a minute. Can I ask a question here, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
The blue and the yellow, when you combine them, you make green. Do you wait for this to dry before you put the yellow on?
Well, this also I wanted to take a picture of, but I didn't. I just used another canvas that was 2x4, same thin canvas. And if you could look at the lower right corner where I had used a spray can
Yeah.
to done that before, and it bubbled up. So that's what the background was, and it was blue.
Yeah,
So really what I did was I just threw blue and yellow paint here. And again, that background was already, that blue was already established.
it's dry. But my question is, how come it didn't turn in the lower right-hand corner where looks like you made a brush mark on the blue with the yellow? How come it didn't turn green? Is this, you let the blue paint dry?
Well, there are a couple different layers, and where you see green, that's where the additional layer of blue is and the additional layer of yellow.
Still, it doesn't answer my question. Did you let it dry?
I let the first coat of the dotted blue dry. That was dry for like a year.
Got it.
I came back and then added a deeper blue and the yellow. Two different types of blue and yellow.
This is not something you could do with oils, but rather with acrylics.
Right.
That's
But
the other.
Marcia, if you can see the lower left,
Yeah,
there's green there, and that's where the blue and yellow mixed.
yeah. But yeah,
Mm.
it's very cleverly and very sparsely. There's not really a chromatic change per se. There is a change, but it's very subtle.
Well, I also used a brush in the upper left corner.
Yes.
That combined the blue and yellow, which was muddy, which I wanted there, but I didn't want the whole painting to feel muddy.
Well,
As what I tell you, what I like here is, in a way, it has a very nice rhythm, through your what you did,
Mm.
it has a rhythm. You see the pum, 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 something,
Yeah.
you see that. What I a little bit have a problem is really the yellow there, which is on the left side.
Yeah.
This
The
line,
circle.
the
Yeah.
circle, it's a bit, I think if this
Mm.
is, you know,
You know,
I like that
Hans,
shape.
remember last week we were talking about blue and yellow
yes,
and color generally. And I suggested that, that you use a third color that is that would clash and change, all of these colors, which I thought would be like an orange or a red.
Yeah.
Because the yellow is too strident. It's too much right out of the, too much out of the tube, out of the jar we're getting it from. It's just too yellow, right? And it could be a million different things. Granted, it does go into a little bit of this green occasionally, but that's not enough, and
Mm.
so that's a little bit what bothers me about the yellow. It's just all the same. It's
Mm.
neon. It doesn't change.
right.
I don't know.
But
I
once
like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
once this line would be gone there, it is the circle.
Yeah.
All on the left works for me. Like there is something going on. I have just,
Yeah.
there are, and then it will become really something, I think, interesting.
Yeah, get rid of that spiral. It's
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
But I like, actually, there is a rhythm. It's it's not all over the whole thing you made like this. You really made in you see that chup, chup, chup. It's like a brush strokes in a way, which
Yeah.
and I like that. It's a good. There's something very interesting going on here.
I agree. It's funny that I saw these Mark Grotjahn and brought them because some of these techniques are similar.
Oh yeah.
And of even the rhythm that Hans is talking about. This and this,
Mhm.
Yeah, so like this yellow stuff gets in the way of really being able to, of seeing that and experiencing that. The yellow stuff is, I don't know, it's whatever.
I have to say I didn't have as much time on this piece, and I would like to go back, into this piece. But
I think when this stuff was wet was the time to do it.
I could throw it over and do it.
You lay it on the canvas, but then take, like you did here on this side when it was still wet.
Yes.
And then you played with it. You moved it around, made something happen. That's a little deeper.
I
that
was
instead
trying
of
to
it being,
get,
on the surface.
I was trying
Go
to,
ahead.
I was trying to get different shapes. Maybe it's the center part that's not good, because I like that line. You know, maybe it's the it's the centerpiece and that inside circle, because that other line I think is good.
What other line are you talking about?
I
There's
see.
there's a outer,
Thinner.
the thinner line. If you
Yeah.
cover the circle,
You mean this?
Outline.
You mean that?
Yeah,
I think it's better.
The out one?
Yeah, I would keep that line and get rid of the circle and that piece inside
Okay.
this.
yeah.
Well, whatever. Whatever.
Maybe you can take I think it's thick paint, right? Thick.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
thick.
you can even remove it maybe with a knife, just going on it and take
No,
it. No,
I don't
It's
think.
acrylic. It's hard to do.
you can't. It
Okay.
doesn't come off.
No,
Mhm.
that area is not so thick. Other areas.
Mm.
you
No, I
can't-
mean the yellow is thick on that that you
Yeah,
just take
no,
the
I
yellow
don't
away.
think- I could try. I don't think so.
Okay.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I can go in and
There is something going on with this paint, which I like.
Okay.
But just with this yellow is a little, too
Yeah.
much yellow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But on the right-hand side, where you have like this thick, darker blue
yeah.
thing, going over that, there are very wonderful, interesting things going on,
I put a white piece up against the edge of the dark blue, and it just seems like the whole thing works there without that second part of the.
Mhm.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you did good by not taking white,
like
that you took only these two colors.
It killed me, but I did it.
Yeah.
All right, so Hans, I'm not allowed to use any other colors but blue and yellow in here when I go
In
back.
my pieces, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to
First time.
try to solve it with just these two.
Well, thanks for your input.
Well, thank you, everyone.
You.
Next week, what else? Do we have anything to discuss before we sign off?
I don't know if I'll be here next week. If I get better, I'll be in Florida, and I don't know for how long. So I don't know if I'll be able to come next week. But if I,
Well, I hope you get better and we don't see you next week.
yeah, thank you. I want to say,
Mm.
yeah, thanks very much.
Hope you feel
Feel
better.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was a great class. Great
Yeah,
discussion.
Wait, we're still streaming here. We're still recording.
Let's
So we don't
say
want to pat ourselves
Say
on the
that.
back
I'm
too
allowed to
much.
say that.
So
everybody.
everyone, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
yes.
Right?
See you next week.